So it's been a considerable amount of time that I've shot my recurve, and I'm going to test to see how much of a difference a tuned bow actually makes. I'm going to start here at 30 meters and shoot two different spined arrows, one that is 410 and one that is 450. One of these is going to be tuned, and then I'm going to go back to 70 meters, plot each and every arrow shot on a plot chart, and then we'll be able to see how much of a difference the tuned arrows actually make, or not, over the untuned arrows. Alright, so I've already warmed up. It's been a considerable amount of time since I've shot a recurve or anything with a clicker. I think this bow is already tuned for the 450s. I think I have the right string on it. I'm hoping I don't have to do a whole lot of tuning because I'd rather just get out and start scoring or shooting at 70 meters. I'm gonna shoot a couple arrows to kind of get warmed up and used to a clicker again and all this. It's just been a long time. Alright, so those were 450s. I've got a couple of bare shafts for them. So they are potentially a little stiff. I mean, the arrows are flying okay, so they're not that bad. It is a humid one today. Alright, now I'm going to shoot a couple 410s. So 450s are the red veins. 410s are the orange veins. Sorry if you see me wiping my face a lot. I'm going to be dripping sweat here soon. Yeah, they definitely do not fly as well. I can see them fishtailing, kicking left out of the bow downrange. Okay, so there's two fletched, and here's a bare. Alright, so you can see, very, very different. I'm going to go pull the arrows. I think I might bump the bow weight up a half a turn just to quickly make the 450s a little bit better. I don't want to go up in weight because I haven't shot in forever, but I might as well do it at least a little bit better than that. Alright, I just did a half a turn, checking my tiller to make sure it's about the same, and it's pretty close. My brace height, I think, has settled quite a bit. Actually, right exactly where I like it, 22.5 centimeters. Hopefully the camera lasts today. I've got a cardboard shroud over the top of it right now to hopefully shield it enough from the sun and the heat. Florida has been pretty brutal lately. The heat index is basically off the charts, and this camera can get a little saucy when it gets hot out like it is right now. Okay, I'm gonna shoot 450 first. Alright, so that's pretty tuned as far as I'm concerned. As far as stiff weak, maybe the nocking point's a smidge high. These are permanent nocking points. And it begins. Yeah, so one went high, one went low. They both hit fairly good, stiff weak. So that's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. That tune is more than capable of shooting extremely high scores. So that won't be a problem or a limiting factor. So 450s and 410s land roughly in the same spot, fletched. which is what I'm hoping for. I'm sure the 410s will hit lower at distance because of the extra weight. And way stiff, a full spine stiff, obviously. The arrows are the same build, same exact length, same point weight, same nocks, same pins, same fletchings. The Wave Pros fletched with 8 degrees of helical in the same place. They're just different colors. They are the same exact vein. Everything's the same as far as the arrow is concerned, except for the spine itself. Full disclosure, the 450s are selected, meaning I spent a lot of time selecting arrows for the Olympic Games, and these ones are the second set, meaning I had a primo set out of 72 arrows that I went through and selected. I picked a dozen for tournaments, and then another 15, 20 plus for practice arrows, and then the rest are just sitting in storage waiting to be used one day. They are selected, they are slightly matched, possibly better than the 450s, than the 410s, excuse me. So there may be a bit of a disadvantage there, but my shooting shape is not good at all, clearly, and I don't think it'll make a difference even in the least. So I'm gonna go get them, we'll get back to 70, I'll sight in, and we'll start plotting arrows on a plot chart. If you haven't seen it yet, it's just a piece of paper printed like a target. I'm gonna put 450s on one side, 410s on the other, use a pen, plot them, analyze the data, and see what kind of results we can come up with today. Got some visitors today. Got Mom and the twins. This is my experience just about all the time shooting out here. And anytime I'm coaching anybody out here, it's always quite a shock because we got some wildlife that likes to come and say hey while we're shooting. Okay, we're back at 70. Still have visitors watching. Babies are moving off to the side, and Mom's over here eating at the feeder, watching us. I have no idea what the sight mark's actually going to be. I guessed, and hopefully we're close. I'm just going to sight in. I'm not sure if I'm going to sight in with one or the other, or kind of split the difference with the groups. My goal would be to shoot 36 of each, 36 shots of each type of arrow, and plot all of them. We'll shoot a 450 first. I bet the doe will jump here. She didn't go too far. All right, so good thing I shot the 450s. I hit a 1. Okay, so we're somewhat sighted in with the 450s. What's your guess? Where do you think the 410 will hit? I'm gonna guess, based on what 30 meters looked like, I'm gonna guess 5-6 ring low. Wow, actually much closer, 7 low. So if the 450s are grouping high 10-ish right now, and the 410s are shooting 8 ring-ish low, I'm gonna split the difference and put the 410s at the bottom of the gold and the 450s at the top of the gold, and see how it goes today. So that way it's kind of, they're just in the center of the target, and one doesn't look better over the other. Move it back up a little. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna move my sight. I'm just gonna leave it throughout the day. And I have at least 4 of each arrow. I'm gonna check and make sure they're all in roughly the same condition as far as fletchings are concerned. Basically, I just wanna give as clean of a test as possible. These aren't brand new fletchings. They have been shot for a long, long time, and they are a bit worn out. But as long as there's no tears in them, they'll still group just fine, at least in my experience. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I don't know how much of a difference it's gonna make. Just looking at this, the 410 seem to group okay already, so we'll see. Maybe when I make a mistake, it'll be a big deal. And I am going to plot on that plot chart I showed you a dot for a good shot and an X for a bad shot. So I'll make mental note when I go down and plot where the arrows go. I may even plot them here from the scope, not each arrow as it goes, because I don't want to interrupt the flow of the shooting. And kind of annotate when I make a mistake with an X instead of a dot. I'm gonna go get them. Since the arrows are in similar shape, I am going to shoot 4 of each kind per end for a total of 8 arrows, shoot 9 ends for 72, at least that's the goal. We'll see if I can make it the whole way, I'm sure I can. Okay, so from here on out, I plan on not moving the sight, and I will shoot these arrows in alternating order. I'll start with 450s one end, start with 410s the next, and alternate back and forth so that way it's as unbiased and fair as possible, as controlled as possible too. Okay, so I guess we can just call it done and say that untuned arrows outshoot tuned arrows. Clearly there's a difference in the groups, and there's no data analysis needed or any other further testing needed. Let's just call this myth busted, and we don't need to tune our bows at all. Each end is actually going to be interesting to see the differences in the groups, and already you can tell that there is a difference. But how long this difference stays, who knows? N2, heat index is over 100 now. It's just gonna get hotter. We're still just before noon. Alright, that one I will mark with an X. When I do my job, it's easy to shoot. This is N2. I don't know when my camera got full of storage, but I just cleared out a whole lot of space, so hopefully I'll be able to continue recording this. My camera back there has already overheated at, what, 3 ends in, 4 ends in? Well, 2 scoring ends, 2 plotting ends. So I'm gonna do the best I can, and when that cools down, turn it on, and when it works, and when it doesn't, I'll leave this running so you'll at least be able to see the impact points, and I'll just keep running through. Sorry about this, technical issues. I need to figure stuff out. If anybody out there has any tips, please comment below and let me know. The heat is brutal, it's Florida, and it's just, you know, this is what it is. And every time I've got to move quick when I'm out here, and today is not going to be one of those quick ones. So if anybody's got any ideas, please comment below and let me know. A fan, then you'd hear it. I don't know. I need some sort of a sun shroud. I don't know if they make those. If anybody's got any ideas for those for tripods or have seen them, please let me know. I think I might just have to shut the camera off in between ends and resync with the camera downrange. A little bit more work, but I'd like to see the shots as well. I was not exactly ready on that one, so I guess I'll have to mark that one with an X. Probably mark that one with an X too. Sorry again, my phone stopped recording again and ran out of space again. I thought I was deleting stuff, but apparently I didn't. But we're good now, and I got 3 ends plotted. Well, after 3 ends, I'm starting to see some difference. You see the 450s, the top's marked there, or 410s rather. You see, you know, I'm low left, but it's relatively grouping. You know, it's showing a group. And the 450s, high right. Maybe a little bit better group on the inside. A couple more flyers, not shooting the greatest shots, but we're already starting to see at least some sort of semblance of a result. So we'll keep on going, starting with 410s this time, and 4. Whew, getting tired already. I'm gonna start shooting more now that I have a little bit more time, and get some strength back so I can do a little bit better job here for you. Okay, 4 ends in. Keep on going. More than halfway. Well, about to be more than halfway. All right, now I'm more than halfway done, and 5. That was N6. I've stopped plotting the bad shots as X's because enough of them are bad. So I'm just plotting them all with dots, and we'll call that good enough. N6, 3 more to go. Excuse the weird noise. The grip is pretty much loosening up every shot, so it's getting louder and louder and wobbly. It's staying put when I'm at full draw, so it's just fine, but I'll go get Allen wrenches after this end. Alright, that was end 7, 2 ends left. I'm going to go get those Allen wrenches, tighten up the grip. For whatever reason, I'm starting to hit slightly higher and higher. I don't know why exactly. I am getting tired. Sun has changed positions and the target is now illuminated by the sun, so that could be part of it. So it'll kind of skew our data slightly. I dropped my thing again. The plot chart. Otherwise, I'd show you so far. You can definitely see a little bit of a difference. It's not a huge difference, but there is some sort of a difference there. All right, end 8. One more after this one. And I'm looking forward to going back in the air conditioning. That's better. Sounds quieter. Maybe I'll hit lower too. So hopefully that didn't affect our data too much. Pulled that one left. Alright, so this is what I got so far. Here's the 4 10s. definitely see it's, you know, it's a group. It's a little widespread. And the 450s. A little tighter, maybe. A little more dense. Not quite as widespread. Maybe. I don't know. Hard to tell. All right, I got the last end here. Starting with the 450s for end number 9 for a total of 72 arrows for reel as far as plotting is concerned. Get up. Okay, thank God it's over. Very fun experiment. I'm excited to see the results. I guess maybe not a fun experiment to actually do. It's nice to shoot, but it's hot. Very hot, and I have not shot. I tell you every time. One thing after another keeps coming up. I'm hoping it's over with, the craziness. I sure need a rest. And I want to get back into shooting shape because there's some things I want to do, some experiments I want to play with, and I think there's some stuff in the works that is going to require me to be a little bit more on top of my game. So I have motivation to get better and get back into the swing of things. So, and you know, just looking at the groups roughly, it looks like the 450s are definitely slightly better, but by just enough. And at the top, usually at a tournament, all you need is just enough to make a difference, or make that difference in a stellar performance and a mediocre one. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully I can get you some good data here. And I did a little bit of analysis, at least the best that I could, but I'll show you the results here first. So this is the 410, as you can see. The top is the top of the page. Low left, pretty good group. And the 450s, check it out. Slightly high, maybe a little right. And if I put them up side by side, so you can see them, the way I interpret this is just by looking without doing any sort of measurement or anything like that. The 450s do look slightly better, meaning the tuned arrows. The group overall is about the same as far as the overall size, maybe slightly bigger on the untuned bow, meaning the outer arrows, the outer group is slightly bigger. And the inner concentration where most of the arrows land look a little bit tighter on the 450s, the tuned arrows. It looks like the rough group size is about the size of the 9-ring, maybe slightly bigger with the 410s. And with the 450s, it looks slightly smaller than the 9-ring, at least most of the arrows. So it definitely looks like there's a difference in grouping just to my eye, and it does look better for 450s. Now when I take a set of calipers and I measure the overall width and the height of basically the whole group minus the massive mistakes, and I give you the measurements here up at the top right. This is in millimeters, my awful chicken scratch. Basically, I'm seeing somewhere in the neighborhood of a 25.7 to 25.9 sized group as far as millimeters are concerned, just measuring here on this piece of paper. And that is the width and the height. So it's a relatively round group. 410s width and height is 26 and 29.3 respectively. Now when I measure the inner group, what I interpret to be the inner group and kind of remove some of the flyers and some of the arrows that are just outliers, the actual 450s, the width and the height was 18.7 and 17.4 compared to the 410s was 18.1 and 18.2. So in both cases, both measurements, I am getting a definitive difference as far as at least the way I'm interpreting it and the way I'm measuring it, with a width and a height of just a rough measurement with a set of calipers. Now this is just for fun, this is just preliminary, and I'm actually surprised to see that the 410s did not make that much of a difference, meaning a full spine to stiff. Now, I would be interested to see what a full spine 2 weak does, and maybe one day I will set up and tune a bow for the 410s and then shoot the 450s and get them plotted. It is a little safer to do it this way and having the arrows to be too stiff. But I'm just curious, because I am curious, what 2 weak would be and how much of a difference that would make. But just looking here, I can definitely see a difference between the two. Is it worth the difference? I argue yes, because purely I'm into just performance. And, we all like to shoot more 10s and shoot more arrows in the middle. And I can definitely see that the 450s, the tuned up arrows, definitely did group a little bit tighter. And I'm a little bit happier about that. So, for what it's worth, it seems like I proved that tuning your bow can make a difference, at least when everything else is kept the same. A good arrow built properly, sized properly, with good fletchings, set up how they should be, in my opinion, and a bow that is set up how it should be. Limbs aligned, tiller set properly, brace height set properly, good stabilizer setup, good plunger tension, good center shot. All of those things, I think, help make a bow more forgiving. So I think that's why we didn't see such a huge difference between tuned and untuned. And I think if the bow was not set up as well and a little bit more out of whack, we may have different results. And it could be totally the opposite for all that I know. But, I think doing your job and making sure you control as much as possible and do things as well as possible should give you better results. Before I end this video, I want to announce that I launched new campaigns on my website, jkaminski.com. If you click at the banner at the very top where it says help support this channel, I'm asking for support for very specific things. A lot of people have commented, hey, I'd like to know what I'm sending my money to is going towards something that I want it to go towards, meaning like something in particular, something more specific, and at least have an idea as to where the funds are going and what they're being put towards. So I've got a couple of campaigns up there. I'm looking to get a hold of a high-speed camera, a good one, so I can actually do some really good analysis and get you guys some good footage as to what's going on within the system. It'll help add value to my video reviews of equipment. That way we can see what's happening under high-speed cameras and do a little bit better analysis. I'm also asking for help in securing some acoustic panels, or at least some materials for acoustic panels, because as you can see, there is a massive amount of echo in here, and it's pretty empty in here at the moment because of the moving process that we're going through. I'm just not set back up in here, and acoustic panels would make a massive difference. I do appreciate all my supporters out there, everybody who has helped support this channel and make this possible, because without you, genuinely, I wouldn't be able to do it to this level. So I appreciate everybody who's out there supporting me, and if you wouldn't mind, please do consider hitting that subscription button down below, that notification bell. That way you get notified when I upload new content. I'm trying to make this channel a great resource to all types of archers. Ultimately, I'm just trying to make stuff that I would want to see when I was growing up to help make me a better archer in the long run.